And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
I was just telling Tiny Tim here that the last time him and I were on stage together, we was the Tonight Show, and that was
It was, yes.
that was a lot of fun, Ken.
Yes.
I think you need to provide some insight to our audience as to how you were managed to sing so high as Tiny Tim, because I personally am very intrigued by that. So.
Well, I can tell you that it messed up my voice.
You know, I don't think a lot of people realized, maybe they did, you weren't lip syncing that. You were actually singing the song, and I thought that was very impressive. So,
Yes.
I will tell you, he did it better at practice than he did it during the show, but I think
Yeah,
your voice
my
was
voice
already
was
worn
going out. It was.
Yeah.
It
So,
was.
but
And
it was great.
I couldn't see through the hair down in my face.
Oh, I love it.
Kent, Lisa, we're excited to have Jim Kalaki here with us
Yes,
today.
yes.
Thank you.
Very
I
excited.
guess we're going to get an update on Furl today.
I think that's what I'm
Yes,
here
we
for.
are.
I thought that's what you were here for, so we're excited to hear about the
Yep.
nuances for
Right.
Furl this year.
And he's very brave. He is good with being up here while we're doing the whole show today.
Yes, I noticed
So
that.
it's brave of you to do that.
Especially with the two of us, right?
That's right.
Yes,
You never know what
yes.
they're
Well,
going to say.
I did wonder who are the two of you today, given who you were the last time.
That's right.
Well, I will say the last thing about the Tonight Show, I think we had more fun doing it maybe than the audience had watching
yeah,
it, because
clearly.
we just had a ball doing that. It was a lot of fun. And,
Everybody did great with that. That
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Yeah, it
yes.
was. And you know, the fun part for me, I'm just going to share this. You know, we decided the day of the event that we were going to do the walkthrough or the run through, or whatever you want to talk about.
Yep.
Well, it wasn't much of a run through. I mean, we didn't even get into any of our real skits or lines or anything. So I don't think any of us really knew what anybody else was doing.
That's
Right.
true.
So for me, you know, I was experiencing just like you were when I was up here on
Right,
stage. I was
right.
experiencing it like you all were, and I just had such a ball, you know, watching our folks be in character, and then, you know, Karnak with that stupid Sinbad thing. I mean, that
got
just
you on
caught me
that
really
one.
funny, and I did not see that one coming, and it just was really funny. So
Yeah.
it was just a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and so I hope everybody had a chance to enjoy the show.
That's good.
So. All right, Lisa, I got off track a little bit. Let's go back and
Okay,
pick up our
yes.
trivia question.
Okay, trivia question from Dick Witt today, the 1990s trivia. The winner will get a bottle of wine. And what wine is it today, Ken?
It's a Pinocchio red blend. Actually, I don't think that's how you pronounce it. That's close.
It's close.
Pinocchio.
And it's a twist top,
It's a twist top.
so it makes it extra fancy.
Yes.
Okay.
If you drink this and lie at the same time, bad things happen to your nose. Yeah.
Oh, okay, if you know the answer to this one, and I don't think people are going to get this one right away.
You
Like,
don't?
you're going to have to research it.
Yeah, it might be.
Unless I just am not aware of this, but you're going to call Michelle at 336-389-4103 if you know the answer. So the question is, in 1990, the most complete skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus rex was found in South Dakota. What was its name? What did they name it? So in 1990, the most complete skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus rex was found in South Dakota. What was it named? So they gave a name to it.
They did.
Yeah.
I tried to guess
you
before
know
I
it?
saw it.
I won't be calling.
I think it's Debbie Dakota. But I'm not sure.
I think people are going to have to research this one.
Yeah, I was
So-
trying to be real clever. I was said it was Rexy.
Yeah,
and
it's not.
Rexy. It's not, that's not the
Oh,
answer.
Michelle's already getting a call.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody might know.
That was pretty quick.
So, anyway, we'll see what happens with that. So, all right, Lisa, let's get down on our agenda here
Yes.
today. So, COVID.
Yes.
You know, not much to report there. Fortunately, you know, we still are seeing the occasional case,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
it be a a resident or staff member. Every once in a while, we're seeing
Right.
one. We're not having any kind of outbreaks, and we do have a
No.
winner. Okay, good.
Oh, we have a winner already.
Yeah, that's great. So, we're seeing the occasional case. We are offering booster shots, but we have found out that there's another new booster coming out. I think it's been on the news. We don't know a lot about it yet. We don't know exactly when it's going to come out, but we'll, if people are interested in that, once we get more of that information and we know we can get it from our pharmacy, we'll let everybody know that.
Right,
But I think that they've been touting, the little what I saw, they're touting the new vaccine as, taking into account all of the recent
most recent,
variants and,
right, right.
trying to tie all that back in.
Yep.
But, fortunately, I think we have seen, for the most part, when people have had COVID here of late, they're not getting really sick or not too sick, and the duration of the sickness doesn't seem to be very long.
Very
either.
true.
So
Yeah. And more like a cold,
it's more like a cold is what we're seeing. So
but very contagious though too.
it
We
is,
have seen
that's
that.
the
Yeah.
part. I
Yeah.
think it's more contagious than any of
Yeah.
the other ones have been, the new
Yeah.
variant. But, I think I'd rather have it be more contagious and less
Severe.
severe than have
Right.
it be less contagious and more severe,
Right,
right?
that is
So,
true. Yep.
But, hopefully we can just keep kind of living our lives the way we want to live our lives, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can avoid it. So, but yeah, fortunately, there's not a whole lot to have to report from that right now.
Right.
And we had an outbreak here, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, something like that. And one of our sister communities right now is having an outbreak of it, and it's so contagious that it doesn't take much to spread it.
Right.
And so, I got a phone call saying, hey, we're kind of experiencing this. Have you experienced this? And well, no, not right now, but we did a month and a half ago, and it'll subside, and it usually does. So,
Yep.
hopefully that's the way it'll continue being. So.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, parking lot, update on the parking lot out back here. For a parking lot, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that for a parking lot, but it really looks very attractive, very well done.
It's so nice to come on the show and not have to say, well, we're hoping that we're going to get our partner, vendor partner, to
Exactly.
get this, or we're going to
Yes.
get
Yeah.
that, or isn't it nice that it's actually done
It
now?
is, it is.
We've got a little bit of landscaping to
Right,
do around
yep,
the parking
and some
lot. but
sodding and all that good stuff, so
Yeah,
that's
but
to come.
The lot's
That's to come,
done,
yeah.
and so we actually are going to start encouraging staff and residents to park back there.
Yep.
Staff, we'd like to really kind of pull staff, the plan is to pull staff out of the front parking lot area
Right.
and move them back there so that we really can free up that front parking area for residents and for our visitors. So
Right, absolutely.
that's kind of the game plan.
Yeah.
But,
And there's also some great golf cart spots out there as well.
yeah, I'm trying to remember, is it 12?
I think it's 12.
I think it's 12
Yep.
new golf cart spots, so.
And there's two different spots of that one, so when you drive through and take a look at that, you'll see it's the shorter spots.
Yes,
They're a little narrower.
They're a
too.
little narrower, or
Yeah.
a smart car could fit in there too, I guess,
Yes.
but they really are meant for golf carts.
well, and that's important to point out, because really, if you're parking a car, please park in a car spot. If
Right.
you're parking a golf cart, park in a golf cart
Yeah.
spot. So
And they are smaller, so you can
you should be
definitely
able
see
to
the
tell
difference.
the difference,
Yeah,
right?
Yep,
So that's a-
absolutely.
if you can't tell the difference, then we probably need to put you into a golf cart. Then you should be driving if that's the case. So,
Oh.
but yeah, that's good. So,
So now that we have this done,
yes.
where do we go next, Tom?
Well, and see, this was fairly easy, right? This really didn't
It
affect
was.
too many people, a little bit of the Pinehurst folks. but
Right, right.
really not anybody else.
Right.
The next one's going to be that's the heavy hitter is the next one. So,
Yep.
starting on September 11th, and we're going to have by the way, before I say anything, we got a memo coming out.
We do.
That's going to explain all the detail about
Yep.
this. So we're not going to go into all the
Right,
detail
because there's
here.
pages.
We're just going
of
to talk
details.
a little bit about, from a higher level, about what's going to happen. But from September 11th, that whole week, starting that Monday, all week, we're going to be pulling everybody out of the front parking lot. And we will not be using that front parking lot for a whole week because they've got to be, the paving company has to come in. They have to, it's not just a resealing project. But we have a lot of areas in the front parking lot that are bad areas. They're going to have to dig them up. They're going to have to fix them. And then they got to put it back together. And then they're going to mill the whole thing.
Right,
And
right.
then they're going to re-asphalt it. And then they got to draw the lines. And so I asked them, can you really get that done in a week? And they said they think they can get it done in a week. So it's gonna be challenging for us. We're probably gonna use this back entrance right here coming in the back as our front entrance that week, and use that parking lot, the new one, as kind of our guest parking for that week. Because we're not gonna be able to use the front.
Right.
We're gonna be, it looks like we're also going to be asking staff to park up at the ball fields, and we're going to be shuttling them from the ball field here that week, so that we can keep more of the parking spots because the resident vehicles that are usually parked in the front, we gotta put them somewhere, and I don't wanna put them over to the ballpark field. We wanna have them here around the campus. So we've got a lot of work to do to try and figure all that out, but I just want to give you a heads up, that's a week and a half away. And so we're going to be starting that pretty soon, and the letter will come out, and Lisa, I don't remember, we don't have another Churns show between now and then, do we?
We don't, no.
But we'll just talk through that a little bit, and that part's going to be the most challenging out of anything that we do, because we can't just shut half the parking lot down. We talked to the paving company, and they really recommended letting them have it for the whole week. They thought they could do it. So you know what? We can endure anything for a week if we have to here, and we can do this.
Yep.
And then after that, there'll be a plan in place, and I think the memo talks about this as well. After that, we'll be working on just the roadways coming. So we'll do half the road at one point, and then we'll do the other half of the road. So there'll be a little bit of, trying to work around that as they're milling and as they're repaving those areas. This is probably going to be about a 5-week project starting on the 11th of September. It's going to take us into October before we're completely done. But the neat thing is, once we're done, it'll look like we have brand new streets out there. It's going to be really nice looking. It's going to be functional for a long time. And, I think we had figured out that last time we had done this was 2012?
Yes, it was.
2012, so it was about 11 years last time we did this. And, we actually tried to fix some of the spots in the front last time, and they weren't
Didn't go
fixed
far
right.
enough.
So we got a different company this time.
Yeah.
We think they're gonna actually be able to fix this better than I think they've kind of proven to me with the work they did in
they've
the
done a
back
great
lot
job.
that this is a really good company. So I know it's gonna be a pain for residents. That week, September 11th through the 15th, may I suggest that if you've got a beach house, go to the beach house. If you got a townhouse, if you got friends at Arbor Acres or Wellspring or whatever, go see them for the week. There might be a lot of things. Go to Disney World for the week if you want to. It's gonna be a rough week. I'm just gonna tell you, it's gonna be hard, and we'll do our best as a staff to try and make it as easy as possible for the residents. But it's gonna be challenging.
Yeah.
So I just want you all to know that. But I think, like I said, for a week we can endure that, and we need to be praying for good weather that week, because if we get bad weather that week, it could slow us down a little bit. But that's the game plan. So I'm hoping, we'll have that all done, and then the week after that, which we're going to talk about in a minute, we'll have the luau, which will be fun. So to finish up, but I don't know. Did I miss anything on the parking?
No. I think, the biggest part is communication-wise, we'll be putting things in your in-house mailbox, we'll be using Care Merge. So that's really our big communication tools. So just make sure you're staying in touch with Care Merge and watching your in-house mailboxes.
Yeah.
So we can keep you updated.
Yeah, exactly. And so you'll see that memo. And, I'll just encourage you, if you have questions about the memo, come see us, call us, email us, whatever you want, and we'll be glad to try and answer your questions
Absolutely.
for you. So it's going to be fun.
Yep. It'll be good in the end. We just got to get through.
It will be. And, it really will be. I think you'll all be very
Yeah,
happy with the way it looks. The roads will be nice
will
and
look great.
smooth. And they'll look good when they're all done.
Okay, speaking of roads, Sandy Ridge Road update.
Yeah. So a resident here got me in touch, or gave me the name of a contact at the City of High Point. His name is Greg Venable, and Greg's with the Transportation Department with the City of High Point. And I called Greg and asked him if he would be willing to come on out and do a presentation for our residents on the widening of Sandy Ridge Road. I thought it might be good. I've been talking about it a little bit here and there, but having somebody that's a little bit more up to date on what the plans are would be really good. So he's taking it a step further, though. He's actually going to be inviting at least one, maybe a couple guests from the North Carolina Department of Transportation that are going to be here with him. And so they're going to do a full presentation on what's happening with the road, hopefully some estimated time frames. And so we'll all get a nice little update about what's going on with Sandy Ridge Road. Because I do get a lot of questions from residents about what's the latest with that road. And so I thought instead of me trying to answer all those questions without really having a lot of knowledge about it, completely about what the plans are, it made sense to have them come. So, so that'll be good. So mark your calendars. I think that's the 20th, right?
Yes, yes.
So Wednesday,
I
September 20th.
believe it's in the morning, 10 o'clock
Yeah, I think
maybe,
it's a 10 o'clock meeting that
Yeah.
morning. So hopefully you all can come to that and be a part of that.
Okay. Just a trash removal reminder, we had brought this up at the last Churns show. We are changing companies. We had Republics, now we're going to Lyft. And they'll be bringing out their trash containers in the next day or two here. We might even see them as early as tomorrow. And then the company we currently have, they'll be switching theirs out, hopefully by the end of the week. So there's going to be a little bit of transition there. So if you see 2 trash containers instead of 1, it's just the transition period. So
Yeah, and the name of
just
the new
hang in there
company-
with us.
The name of the new company is called Lyft.
Lyft.
They do ride share too, don't they?
I think they do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's,
So they come in their little Subarus and pick up the trash. It's really
There
great.
you go.
If they don't have a passenger.
Oh, gosh.
it's discounted too. That's the nice thing about that. So
Oh. Okay, 20th anniversary event. So we already
yeah, we
talked about
to
the Tonight Show.
Tonight
Yep,
Show,
that was
which-
amazing. So now we have one last grand finale.
Yeah.
And it'll be a luau. So hopefully you all have seen your encompasses. We have information out there on that. It'll be September 22nd. It'll be right here outside. So hopefully we need to pray for good weather again for that date.
Yes.
There'll be a Hawaiian buffet. There'll be a luau show. And then we're going to end with fireworks.
Yeah,
Yes.
I found another fireworks company.
Yes.
And so, so they're going to be coming out and doing the shoot at, I think 8 o'clock is, I was trying to look to see when it gets dark, and by 8 o'clock, it's usually pretty good. So we'll be doing that. But
Yeah.
I tell you all, the luau is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Because we've
Yeah.
got a professional company coming in to do the luau.
Yes.
And
yes.
so they've got quite a show that
They do. They do.
So
Yep.
I understand they're going to be juggling knives and things. I can juggle knives, but only for a couple of seconds.
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. You're just a
Don't look at me.
you're a real cut up, that?
Yes, I know.
Oh.
So yeah, so I think it's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
fun, and
Yeah.
should we tell them like what happens right before the fireworks
Yeah.
display?
Yeah.
So they do what do they call it, a fire show?
Yeah.
They do a fire show, and they're going to be doing that from like 7:40 that night until
Yep.
8
And
o'clock.
lead up to the fireworks.
And then we'll do the
Yep.
hopefully shoot the fireworks
Yep.
off right after they're done
Yeah.
with the fire
So
show.
it's going to be a great evening.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of
fun.
fun. I think you're all going to have a good time with that. And Joseph and team authentic Hawaiian
Oh, yeah.
luau
Yep.
food. So,
Yep.
now I went to a luau once before, and I didn't like the food all that much. So I don't care if it's really authentic or not. They can Americanize it as far as I'm concerned for me a little bit. But
Yeah.
no, I'm kidding. It's going to be really good.
Yep. Should be good.
Pineapple, was it grilled pineapple?
Grilled
Isn't that what it said?
pineapple. Yep. All
Yeah,
kinds of
yeah,
things.
grilled pineapple,
Yep.
all kinds of good stuff. Yeah. Mai Tais?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, no ties. That's
No
no
ties,
ties
yeah,
for that event. So
Oh. So make sure everybody goes to Amazon now and get your outfit,
yeah,
because they're going to get sold out here.
yeah. I think it's gonna be a lot of
So
fun.
we encourage you to dress up that night. Okay, silent auction. It's hard to believe that was just end of last week.
Yes, it was.
So it was a huge success. We reached our goal, which was $15,000. It takes a lot of items to sell to reach $15,000. So thank you all that donated to us, that were great shoppers, great bakers. The bake sale alone, we raised about $1,400 just from the bake sale.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
In a couple hour period to make 1,400 unbaked items. So thank you all for helping with that. Just a great, it was a great event.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
I think everybody
Yep.
had a really good time. and-
Absolutely. And so many volunteers that it takes really to pull that off. So thank you all residents for that, and special thank you to Kathy Hoyt, who's the coordinator of that. It's a big job,
So
so.
we need your all's help, because Kathy said that's it, this is her last year.
She said she's retiring.
Would you all encourage her to stay with us, because she does such a great job, and tell her how much we need her, and.
That's right.
And the other
Love
reason you
her.
do that is because if she retires, we're coming after you to get
That's
you to do
right,
it.
so we're coming after you, so you really want to make sure you tell her what a great job she did, so.
Oh, well, we're already recruiting some new people that are gonna be helping us next year,
Yeah,
so.
that's
There's one in the audience here, so
Ah,
he
yeah.
knows who he is. He's the only male in the audience, so. Oh,
Congratulations.
yep. Other announcement, we have the ice cream social. We had to change the date on that from what's in the Encompass. So hopefully you saw that on Care Merge. The end of the summer ice cream party will be on Tuesday, September 5th. So that's already next week, day after Labor Day.
Wow.
Those have been a huge hit. So if you've not been to one, you need to come to it. So that
know,
is
that's the-
next Tuesday.
That's the last official day you can wear seersucker.
Is it?
Yeah, so go ahead and wear all your seersucker now, because on the 5th, after the ice cream
That's it.
party, yeah, no, it's just
So it's
bad
like,
form.
it's like a
yeah.
Labor Day thing? Like
Yeah,
you can't wear white
yeah,
after
yeah,
Labor Day?
Yeah,
and-
I've always
okay.
heard about you can't wear white after Labor Day,
Right,
but
right. I don't know if people still follow that
I
anymore.
don't know, I don't think anybody
Audience
does.
is saying no, so it does not matter. Ken, you're
Oh,
good.
seersucker, it
You're
matters.
good.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a,
that one's still in place.
that's a
isn't it?
southern thing.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
There are some things when you don't mess with.
Oh. Okay, we also had a question for this week. We used to have more of this in the beginning of our show where, if y'all have a question, send it to me ahead of time, and then I can add it into the show.
Yeah.
So this person the question is, or the statement first, I heard we're full in our healthcare area. So that's true.
Yeah.
We are very full right now.
Yeah.
What happens if we fill up and I need a bed for rehab or recovery?
Yeah,
So we get asked that periodically.
we do. Yeah, we do.
And right now, we do have a lot of folks needing rehab here. So it just kind of happens sometimes where we have a bubble come through.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a supply and demand thing, right? I
right.
mean, sometimes the demand outweighs the supply. We've really been very fortunate.
We
The
have.
Lord has blessed us over the years. Lisa and I were trying to remember, but ever since we opened Wingfoot, which
Yep.
was July 1st of 2009, so that was 14 years ago, we have not had to send any residents outside of our campus for,
Right.
skilled nursing needs. But it can happen, and we're at that point again where we're full at the end.
Right.
So
And then we have to talk about it.
so,
Yep.
and so it was a good question. And
Yeah,
so what kind of
yep.
provisions are in place to help us if we were to find ourselves in that situation? And so what we have told residents over the years, and we'll tell you again, is, we have reciprocal agreements with Friends Homes, Pennyburn, even potentially now with Wellspring at some point here, because we're going to be merging with them, where if they have a need, they can send a resident here if we have open beds, and we can do the same thing. Now, I know that's not ideal. A resident coming back from the hospital would rather come back to
Yeah.
River Landing
Yep.
instead of
Yep.
going to another community. But, we would do our best once a bed opens up to move that resident back here as soon as possible right afterwards. And, it did, before we built Wingfoot, it did happen on occasion. Lisa and I were talking.
Yeah.
Lisa, it was the last time I think we had done it, well, maybe once or twice after that, but I remember the Presbyterian High Point was still open back then, and so we were having residents we were full here, we just sent
Right,
residents
right.
over to the Presbyterian
Yep.
High Point.
Yep.
And so, it's like I said, it's not ideal, but the idea there is that we want to make sure we're taking good care of you. So, the nice thing you should know is you're still going to, if you have to do that, you're still going to a quality organization. We don't want to partner with just anybody for nursing beds. And so, Friends Homes has got a great reputation. Pennyburn has a great reputation. Wellspring has a good reputation. So, all those are great places if you have to go there. And our hope is that would never happen.
Right, right.
But
But we have to
there's
have-
always that possibility
Right,
that
have
it
to have a
could.
plan if
And you know, I'll
that.
just tell you, what was it, yesterday or day before yesterday? We had, yesterday, we had several residents that were out in the hospital that had to come back. And we had about an hour-long meeting, just trying to figure out, okay, how do we move this resident into this room and get this resident over to this room
Right.
so that we can get this resident?
Right.
I mean, we spent about an hour yesterday
Yeah.
playing musical rooms with residents, trying to figure it all out.
We
And
get very creative.
you have to get creative.
Yes.
I mean, I've always
Yeah.
said I might have to give my office one day
Yeah.
for a resident, you know, so coming back from the hospital, but yeah, the reality is we've been able, fortunately, good Lord's just provided, and we've been able to handle that, but it could happen. And so we just, you know, I think it's good to talk about that,
Right,
just to make
right.
sure that everybody
Yep,
understands.
absolutely.
So hopefully that answers that question, but if anybody has another part of that that they have a concern about or question about, you know, feel free to talk to Lisa or
Yep,
I about
yep.
that, so.
Okay.
All right,
I think it's to our favorite part,
yes.
our guest today.
Wow, Ken. I
Yes.
think she just dissed you.
No, yeah. I know who she's talking about.
We can't call Ken a guest anymore.
That's right.
I mean, he's part of the show.
Oh, right, good
Right?
point, good point,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
Good recovery.
Jim, what's going on in the world of furl?
Well,
We are so excited about this update.
this is a lovely opportunity that Furl and the Furl Work Group appreciates, being able to share what is going on. I was just sitting here thinking it sort of blows me away that, do you now recall that Furl started nearly 5 years ago
Wow.
in 2019?
Has it been that
Yeah,
long? Wow.
okay.
Right.
And it just seems to happily keep
It's
on
grown,
going.
yes,
And
and
it's
growing.
largely because of the people who live here who
Yes.
give their skills and talents
Yep.
and so on. I also should know that Allison is sitting here behind the production table, and Allison's presence in Furl has made a gigantic difference this year, and I hope you will appreciate the brochure that came out about a week or so ago, which is by far the neatest and cleanest brochure that
There you
Furl has
go.
produced. And Allison.
Good job,
job, Allison.
Allison.
So, thank you.
That's
I
great.
think she's a
That's
keeper.
great.
What do you think?
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely. God. You can't go anywhere for the next 40 years, Allison. There are two changes in the brochure that I want to draw to everyone's attention.
Okay.
One is that our dear friend Jack Barry, who coincidentally is leading a course on Irish music, and it did say that there was a limit of 10 on there, and we don't want to shut out people from Irish music.
absolutely.
So that was a little faux pas, and there is actually, technically, there's a limit of 70 because it's going to be in the classroom, the Sheffield classroom over in the gym, but we did want to get that word out widely so people would say, oh God, there's only room for 10.
Right, right.
I'm never going to make it.
Right.
Jim, that was
Sure.
originally 10 sober people, right?
And I was told beforehand that I cannot drink or touch this bottle of wine before I leave, so.
Oh, gosh.
Anyhow, the other change along those lines is that Gabe Brown is doing a course on the Book of Lamentations. And if you have any interest in more biblical history than theology, Gay is a fabulous teacher, and but her course has currently says a limit of 16 on it, and that got moved from a room that indeed did have a limit of 16. And I got word today that Gay is not locked into having a limit of 16, so that opens up to a much larger group.
Okay.
The other thing that lots of you who've been here before, I hope will be very glad to hear, and you've probably read already, that we are making some major changes in the registration process.
Yes.
I grew up playing rugby in Ireland, and one of our favorite things in rugby is having a scrum. Well, registration here the last couple of times has been a bit of a scrum because
It has felt like that, hasn't it?
we set up here in the room at 12 o'clock, and people are showing up at 10:15 and getting their numbers and so on. And it's been a bit of a mess. So again, thanks to Allison's genius and a few other people, registration will now take place. It will start, we were going to do it online, but we couldn't figure out how to do it online and make it equitable for people who choose not to use the
Cameras.
computer
Right,
to
right.
get on.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is on the appointed day, which is Wednesday, the 6th of September, we will start registration at 12 o'clock here in this room. However, if you choose to, you don't have to be here at 12 o'clock, because with courses that have limits, well, with every course, we're going to have a box for each course, and you will fill out your name and rank and serial number and whatever else, and stick it in the box. And if there's a limit on the course, by the time at the end of registration, which will be the end of Friday, we will basically count the number of people in the courses that have limits. And if the course is exceeded, like for example, if there's a limit of 15 and there's 25 people, then FUR will have a lottery and we'll draw 15 names. And we will have those names out by the first of the following week. So that there's plenty of time to get involved. And I don't anticipate this time that there's going to be much of a problem, because first of all, there aren't that many courses with limits, and the ones that do have them have a fairly high number.
Sure.
So, and I hope I'm not wrong on that,
Yeah.
that we get 2,000 people
Right.
registered.
It sounds like the fairest way to do that, though.
As best we can
So,
tell at this stage.
sure.
And as always, if anyone has any bright ideas on how to upgrade this for the next time around, we're always very glad to get your input.
Well, Jim, you know,
great.
the problem is that we don't have any room in the healthcare, so we can't afford another scrum at the moment, because that would,
Yes.
you know, that would be bad.
Yeah.
So we don't need to create any extra problems with that, so.
And for those of you, there's very few of you probably know this, except for the FUR work group, because I do keep them informed, and one or two other people around. But there'll be lots of scrums available to watch in September, because the Rugby World Cup is going on in France,
Oh.
starting
Okay.
in about 2 weeks. And so you can watch any number of scrums that you want to there on any number of stations. And if you need more information on that, I'll be glad to provide it. I've got all the Irish rugby matches that they're playing in
Love it,
Markdown
love it.
on my day
You're
book.
a scrum expert, then, is that the idea?
Yes,
Both from a learned standpoint, but also from
Yes.
an actual participating standpoint?
Yes,
then?
I played rugby all my life
There you go.
Wow.
until I came
Wow.
to America.
There you go.
Huh.
And then I saw the size of people who play rugby here. I thought, I'm not doing this anymore. The couple of other things I did want to bring to your attention on Wednesday, the 11th of October, I think it's the 11th. Yes. There will be in this room a writing event. And again, if you were here last year, you might have had the chance to experience this. We've had a writing competition this summer. There were more entries than has been the case in the past. They're in the judging process and the announcement process of winners at the moment. But on the 11th, the community will be invited to a writing event at which the prizes will be announced and presented. And the people who are the winners in 5 different categories this time will get to read their works. And last year, it just turned out to be a really lovely event. A lot of people came, and and maybe after this one, a writing program or something can take off and run on its own, aside from Furl. But so anyhow, look out for that coming up in October. In October, we will also be announcing 2 positions on the Furl work group. For those of you, again, that don't know, the Furl work group is made up of 6 residents, a facilitator, and then 2 or 3 members of the resident life staff. And the 6 residents rotate in 3-year terms now, and the last 2 original members, who are Jack Barry and Sarah Leitner, are finishing their terms in December. And we will have an announcement and some PR about that in late September, early October, to invite expressions of interest. If you're really interested, you can go now to the Furl webpage on the left-hand side of Kermerge, and the thing you'll be asked to fill out is actually there. So, and that would be for a 3-year term starting on the 1st of January. I should also tell you that activity is well underway, believe it or not, for spring courses. We have at least half a dozen conversations that have taken place with people who are thinking about or have committed to or are occasionally being persuaded to do a spring course, and that looks like it'll be a very lively set as well. And the one final thing I'd want to acknowledge is Jack and Sarah's role on the Furl work group. They're the 2 remaining original members from when we created this back in 2019. And Jack, as you know, is also the resident Irish mythologist and the resident expert on Robbie Burns, the Scottish poet, which is sneak preview, one of the courses for the spring.
Okay.
But anyhow, they have given terrific service to us as a community and Furl in particular.
That's great.
Jim,
That's
I heard a rumor that there might be a ukulele playing contest or class that Tiny Tim's going to take for to do for the
Please,
Furl in the
please
spring.
squash that rumor.
Oh.
I was going to say that somewhere along the way in Furl, Ken and I did a course, but together, which was actually great fun. You know, a ukulele course, I'd be glad to follow in your wake.
I think it would do as well as a yodeling course.
Oh.
I'm always impressed by the way that you all roll out the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
means, I guess, that not only do you furl, but you unfurl.
Indeed, yes. And it just rolls right along. And we roll with the punches, wherever they come from.
Oh my
Ken.
gosh.
Thank you.
Jim, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes.
That's really exciting. I think
Absolutely.
Pearl's just been amazing. And
Yep.
so
And thank you for your creation of it, and
Yes.
leadership of it, and coordination of it. So that's amazing.
and it's quite a group that
Original
you have
member right
that's-
here. Yes.
Quite a group that you have that
Yep.
just very
Oh, yeah,
creative.
the Furl Work Group, plus Allison, Cindy, and Ariel
Yeah.
have just
Yeah.
been
That's great.
fabulous.
That's great.
And then with great rescuing from Michelle once in a while. When, if I may, I just thought of one other thing.
Yeah, please.
We have taped the first 2 of our 12 River Landing conversations for the semester. Kay Heflin and I are on that again, and they will start to air on Friday, the 22nd of September at 3 o'clock on channel 1390, and they'll air every Friday. I believe it's through the 1st of the 1st of December.
Wow.
And the last guest that we have contacted who has agreed to come on is the new director of security services.
Oh, that's
We
great.
thought it'd be a great chance to have him to help with his introduction to the
Absolutely.
community. So
That's great.
That's great. Mark's a great guy.
Yes,
We're very excited
yes.
about having him
Yep.
in place. So, thank you, Jim. All right, Ken, I think we're turning it over to you.
Okay. I'm reminding us that to err is human, but to forgive is divine.
Yes, it is.
But that was a different kind of error. So, okay. I don't know if you can read the sign, but the sign says, "Caution, geezers will erupt without warning." It's a bunch of old geezers sitting out. Okay, let's see. That's going to work. Yep. Being a little older, I'm very fortunate to have someone call and check on me every day. He is from India and is very concerned about my car warranty.
You know, those folks really are.
They care. They do care. Yeah, they check on
They
me too.
just
All the time. I have a smartphone, a smart TV, a smart fridge, and a smart thermostat. I'm essentially the dumbest thing in my house. I made a huge to-do list today. Now I just need to figure out who's going to do it. I think wives have a pretty good idea about that. You know, have you ever been part of an enterprise where somebody just has a really great idea and then somebody else has a really bad idea? This next one qualifies as an idea I don't think is going to get off the ground.
Uh-oh.
It's a calendar series. It's called Dogs Pooping in Beautiful Places.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I told you were brave to come on here, Jim.
get your 2024 calendar today.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
This one is Pavlov's cat, and it's this is Pavlov ringing his bell, and the cat's just sitting there, not doing anything. So these are great failures. To my children, don't make fun of me for asking questions about my cell phone. I once taught you how to use a spoon. What goes around comes around.
That's right.
One way to find out if you are old is to fall down in front of a lot of people. If they laugh, you're still young. If they panic and start running to you, you're old.
Oh,
Okay, you might be a redneck from Texas if you have a pickup truck painted like a bass.
oh my gosh.
You can see that.
Wow.
But that is a giant bass pickup truck.
That's hysterical.
Wow.
Someday I'll behave myself. Maybe one day next week. We'll see how it goes. And then here's an idea for the clubhouse bar, especially maybe after a bad round of golf. Whoops, I went the wrong direction. There it is. It's a beer mug with an impacted golf ball in it. I guess one bad shot deserves another.
Yeah, right.
I feel like Willie Nelson's been the same age my whole life. Have you noticed that? He's always been old, hasn't he? I know God's got the wheel, but sometimes it feels like we're off-roading. I've really related to that.
Yeah, I get that one.
And here's the last one, a t-shirt we all need to get. It says, warning, you are about to exceed the limits of my medication.
I like that one.
That's good.
All right, Lisa, do we have a trivia winner today?
We
Oh,
do,
you
we
know
do.
have one, right?
Yes. So the question was, in 1990, the most complete skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus rex was found in South Dakota. What was it named? The answer is Sue.
Because it was a boy. A boy named Sue. A boy Tyrannosaurus Rex, yeah.
I'm confused now. I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh. A boy named Sue.
And
Yes.
who was our winner today, Lisa?
The winner today was Jim Morris.
Ah,
I think he won last time, too, didn't he, Michelle?
yes, I think
so.
you did.
I
A
think
red
he
blend
did.
Pinocchio to you, Jim.
Yes, yes, he did. So congratulations, Jim.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. Very cool.
Well, another great show.
Yes.
Great audience. Great guests. This is going to go down in the best of series, don't you think, today? So
Yeah, be careful how you say the word annals. Annals, something like that, yeah. Go down in the annals of history, not the other one.
yeah, I don't think it's anal. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think that's
it's
the
not.
right word.
It's not,
You're
but
right, I think
sometimes
it's-
they'll slip out.
Yes, that's
This is the only way to get Tom to be quiet.
You just have to embarrass him? Is that what it is?
okay. So sorry for the potty humor right at the end here, but we hope you all have a great day. Yeah, we just sucked to a new death. Yeah, we did. So
Oh,
we
gosh.
love you all. Have a great day. See you next time.
Bye-bye.